I mean by that is once you get out of your, can y'all hear that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, my computer is doing some crazy stuff. Once you get out of that, you don't want it to be so long that you're not really sure where to start. Um, and I feel like I've had a couple times with my business that I probably took a little bit too long of an ebb. Now, granted, one of them was when I had a baby. And, coming from a cold market, um, to start something new and warm again is really hard. And I try really hard not to um, coach any of my team to get to that place. I'm definitely all for a break, but starting from scratch stinks. And last year, when I got back from conference, I literally was starting from scratch. I had been in the business almost a year and a half, and I started from scratch, trying to rebuild my business. So anyway, I don't really know what I'm saying and what I want to get across, but I think my biggest thing is I think sometimes from doing coaching calls with my team, it's easy to get down on yourself and get to the point where you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. And I just want I want my team to know, and what I usually project to them is everyone feels that way and it's okay. But it's how you choose to lift yourself up and figure out a way to do it. And for me, it's always fun. Um, like just this week, I've had one of those moments where every day I've started my day with something with Jamberry, and it's kind of like rolled me into a momentum that's really awesome. And so I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. I know that the Nourish post kind of like went around like wildfire yesterday, but that was just one of those things where I was just digging in my kids' book bags and realized that it was Teacher Appreciation Week and thought, okay, how can I roll this into my Jamberry business? Oh my gosh, I'll do this. And it makes you like start to feel really, really good when you start to do that. Today, I had to go to the dentist, and I never go to any doctor's office that I don't carry things with me. You never go with naked nails, and you never don't go without a book in your pocketbook. And sure enough, I walked in, very calculated, grabbed a pen to sign in, and the receptionist immediately was like, oh my gosh, your nails. And before I left there, I had an order and I had a catalog party, and I'm coming back to their office to do a lunch with them. So it's just using the opportunity and using the momentum and kind of using your ebb and flow to work to your advantage instead of your disadvantage, if that makes any sense. Um, the only other thing that I am trying to do that I was going to share is recruiting with a purpose. And the thing that I've learned in the past 2 years most is trying to find recruits that need this and want this as much as I do. And so when I'm thinking about someone who might be a good team member, I'm very calculated about who I speak to. Moms, who, I feel like could use the extra money, whose kids are in extracurricular activities. You all know the people that are, I think you would be great at this. I think you would benefit. Those are the people that are going to be willing, that are going to go the extra mile, and those are the people that I continue to cultivate. And I have like literally 5 people right now that are kind of on my long list of recruits that I touch base with. They've told me no probably 3 or 4 times now. Like, stop it, Jill. But something will come up. They'll do some kind of post, or I'll see them somewhere, and they'll make some kind of comment. And I'm always really quick to later send them a text message and say, hey, and it was funny because I don't know if you guys that are friends with me on Facebook, I posted the Huffington Post article last night, and then posted that picture of that 1950s lady talking about, I don't care if you join me or not, but I'm still getting paid.
Mm.
I literally had 4 people contact me today and say, I might want to talk about Jamberry. And these are people that have been in my face for the past 2 years and have had plenty of opportunity to talk to me about Jamberry. So I just think that you just kind of need to, one, control your ebb and flow, and it's okay to have an ebb, and two, be very calculated about your recruits and being persistent even when they tell you no, because they will come back around eventually, and especially if they're seeing you be successful. Oh, and one last thing. I was talking to someone a couple days ago, and we were talking about this, and it's so true. If you guys haven't realized it yet, you're on a train, and you jumped on already, and the train is rolling, and all you have to do is stay on, because I don't think sometimes people really realize the opportunity that they're sitting on top of. I like to think of it like Amway or Mary Kay or one of those companies that have been around for, 25, 30 years. What do you think those people who joined in the first 2 to 3 years of those companies, what do you think they're doing right now if they're still in it? I guarantee you they're not working. They're not working. And people are going to continue to join your team. It's just like a train. It's just going to keep going. All you have to do is maintain your business and ride the train. And that's totally where I am right now, because it's such a unique opportunity that you're in early. You just have to work your business. That's it. It'll roll. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
That was a good 2 cents. I'm glad you added the train at the end, because I was going to ask you to talk about that, because it's what you said on the phone to me the other day. And it's true. And I tried to get the magnets to show that, but the train's better. Kristen, you feel up to talking?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Well, the first thing I want to say is, let me see, is that when Monica was talking about the difference between me and Jill is about wanting and willing, is I really didn't know that I wanted what I have. I had no idea. Monica kept telling me that that's what I was going to do, and that's what I was going to be, and I like half believed her. You know, I honestly didn't. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever, all right, you know. But the key for me was that whatever it was that she said my goal was going to be, I was willing to work to obtain that goal. And I didn't know where it was going to take me. I mean, when she said, "Oh, you're going to be a team manager," I'm like, "Yeah, okay, all right." You know, we didn't even know what a team manager was back then, you know. I mean, it was like, okay, and she's like, "You have to have this and this and this," and I'm like, "There's no way." And HE double hockey sticks that was going to happen. But she was like, "It will. It will. You just have to, you know, keep working hard and doing what you're doing." And I went through, let me tell you what, guys. I mean, my team, when I started, is not the same team I have now. Thank the Lord, because I spent nearly 12 hours a day pushing and pulling my team just to get them to make a post on their party or, you know, anything. I was constantly feeding them, you know, begging them to just try. But I finally got people that wanted it. I finally got people that were willing, and then that got the excitement and the joy out of it like I did. And for me, what was more important than anything was the relationships that I'd built with my Jam sisters. I mean, when Firestarters was the only team page, that was my home. I mean, I lived on that page, and for quite a while there was, you know, they teased and called me the archiver because we didn't have all these pictures and everything, and that was like, I made it my job to search and find pictures of every single rap that had ever been released, and that was my way of making a commitment to do this business. If I knew I couldn't do the sales like Jill could, because I didn't know as many people as she did. But I knew that if I was doing something every single day, that Jamberry was my first job before my real job. And, yeah, I'd put off doing my dishes, and I would put off cleaning the bathroom so that I could hunt for pictures because that was what was fun to me. And, I feel like when I started to get my team members that wanted it and were willing to try for it, I noticed the change in me was that it wasn't me coming from a place of me. It was me coming from a place of them. And that was something that Monica had always had with me. She believed in me. She knew that I had the ability to do this, and she wanted it for me. She genuinely wanted it for me. Now, I know Monica very well, and I know she wanted it for herself too. Trust me. But I know that she wanted me to have the success that she was having and how well it made her feel. But once I changed my place of service to being about my team and not myself, and not, oh my God, I need them to do this so that I can have, this rank or this much in income or whatever. When I changed that mindset to, I want them to have what I have. They need it, or maybe they don't know they need it, or maybe something's going to come up at some time and then they will need it. Then that's when my whole Jamberry world changed. And I'm a little shaky right now talking about this, you guys, because I have to tell you that this journey for the last 2 years has changed my life so drastically, and I just can't even imagine not having all of you guys in my life, and the support, just, and the friendship, and the changes in my confidence and who I am, and being able to just walk up to somebody and be like, hey girl, that chip polish doesn't have to be that way. I'll say things to people that I never thought I could, and you know what? If they say, girl, get out of my face, I'm like, okay, well, here's my card in case you change your mind. Or, I've given my cards out to guys because, yeah, there's strange ones out there that actually will wear, polish and stuff. And I'm not talking about, ones that you might expect to wear it. Just strange things, but this can be so much bigger if you just allow yourself to give instead of take. And I think that's my biggest thing that I wanted to share with you guys. If you look at things that way, it all of a sudden will explode. And for me, I hit team manager in October of my first year. It took me 8 months to hit team manager, and then I didn't hit it again for 5 months. And then after I hit it on that 5th month, then I dropped down again back to a premier consultant. And then after that, it exploded. It literally exploded. I dropped back to premier, then I hit team manager, and I have not hit less than executive ever since. It was 11 months running now. So if you just keep trying and keep thinking about others, that's what I suggest. That's all I can say. And I can't talk anymore because I'm going to freaking boo-hoo over here.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. And I think that what you said is unique to you, but also spoke to a lot of people on this call tonight. And same with Jill. So everyone's taken a different journey to get here. But at the end of the day, you have to keep plugging along and be on that train. This is a craptastic month. I'm not ever going to get on to my main fire starters. I'm never going to get on there and say this month sucks. Okay. I'll never do that because for some people, they might be brand new and they don't want to hear that. But I will keep it more real with leadership and rising stars like yourself. This month sucks. If your month sucks, that happens. But you can't give up. And I think that sometimes when your month sucks, it can just be a luck of the draw. But sometimes I think it can have a lot to do with what you've been doing. So every time I have a bad month, I look at what have I been doing and what could I have done to change where I'm at right now. So I really feel like I could have made a bunch of changes that I've been making last month and this month. I could have made in December and January. So don't ever be afraid to look at yourself and what you can do better. Even if you're amazing at follow-up, maybe you're not amazing at something else. If you're amazing at sales, maybe you're not amazing at something else. Continue to build up your weaknesses. I differ in thought from some people on that who think that you should only call upon your strengths. But why not make a strength a weakness? What are you not good at? I used to not be good at recruiting, so I decided that that was going to be done, and that would no longer be the case. And I was going to become an expert at recruiting, because you can become an expert at recruiting if you want to. Do a lot of study, ask a lot of questions, and just practice a lot, and you can become the master of anything you want to, including Jamberry. You can become an elite executive in the next 18 months to 2 years if you want to take the time to do it. But I'm going to tell you this, you've got to have your Kristen and you've got to have your Jill. Everyone's got to have the two people that they can always lean on. Now, for those other leaders who are in my life, it doesn't mean I don't lean on you and that I don't love you. But what I'm saying is that when you're going to become an executive, you need 2 team managers. If you want to become a team manager, you need 2 leads, right? If you want to be a premier, you need 2 senior consultants. If you want to be a senior lead consultant, you need so many active legs, right? So that's what I mean. Find your Kristen and find your Jill. And if you are blessed like I am, then you're also going to be finding your Amandas and your Jessicas and your Jodys and your Kellys, and your Elizabeths. You're going to be just keep on keeping on, and your Maggies. And I could just go on and on and on and on and on and name people. Some of those people I named were already in my life, so I didn't really find them. But you have to keep throwing it out there and going for it. And when I recruit somebody, I literally look at them like this. And even if you're not a team manager yet, it doesn't matter. I'm like, that's my next team manager. She's going to be a team manager. And Amanda Detra will tell you that she thought I was full of it when I told her that too. But I think there's something to be said about when you're going through this journey with people. I cannot have the same sponsor relationship with Jill that I have with Kristen, that I have with Liz, that I have with Amanda. Each person is unique, so please build that relationship. But the thing that has kept me going, and I feel like Mark Jacobs, I think I just put this out, there needs to be somebody in your Jamberry life who, when you want to quit, and I've been there and still get there, even though you would think that I would be like, I can't give this up. No. I still get there and I want to be like, and I'm done. This is over. You didn't see me. I just threw my pen. But anyway, I'm done. I'm over. I don't want to. I can't hear another, excuse. I can't, from a hostess, from somebody on my team, from myself. Like, I can't take this anymore. I still go through that. But I have somebody who I go to every time I'm that way, and she reminds me why I want to do this. You know, it's like she's my safety deposit box, and I go in there, and then she's like, remember, this is why you're here. Quit beating yourself up. Think of all you've done. Don't give up. Think about how far you've come in 2 years. What if you would have given up? What if you would have just been complacent and been like, well, whatever comes to me, comes to me. Where would you be? And I can tell y'all, and so can Kristen, and so can Jill. We're sitting on the other side of 2 years. So hang.
Jill's on mute, by the way.
Huh?
Jill's muted, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Oh. But I know that you're like, but Monica, tell me how I can go up a thing by next month. This is how you can do it. Number one, May starts today. You don't decide that you want something in May on May 1st. You start building towards that now. Number two, have you shared the recruiting video with your team? Because there are 2 people on here who got recruit leads that night from doing it. Have you shared it? Have you watched it yourself? There are other resources. I'm not just saying that because these are my resources. This is just what's recently happened. Are there people on the look and see? You are never going to get to the next rank unless you have the requirements for that rank. In fact, I suggest that you have twice as much as what you need. So if you need 2 senior consultants, then you better be making sure that you have 4 senior consultants if you really want to hit Premier and maintain it and move on up to team manager. Okay, so that's what you have to do. You have to get your team on board for May right now. If you are like, I am so lost as how to do that, you all have a team manager, and all of us team managers just met the other night, and we are all on board for helping you get your team together. So if you need to go to your team manager and say, I want this, I'm willing, let's do it. I'm your girl. I heard that I have to tell my team manager that she needs a girl, and I'm your girl. I am your girl. You want executive? I'm her. I'm right here. Tell me what I have to do. You've got to go to your team manager, and you've got to do that if you want to connect with your team and take it to the next level, because you're not going to get it by just hoping they make it through their fast starts. You're not going to get it by letting them swim by themselves thinking that they're going to get their own recruits, because they're not going to. At the end of the day, some people you have to hold their hand and you have to teach them how to swim, and then they're going to teach other people how to swim. But right now, we need to throw out a lot of life rafts to a lot of people on this team. Our fast start numbers are like 10 to 15%. And I think like industry average is 25%, and the Jamberry average is like 30-somewhat%. I mean, we're way under. So we are throwing out life preservers, and we're going to tie all those knots together, and we're going to be one big giant unit, and continue to be that way until I have grown so big that people are like, who the heck is Monica? Who's Jill? Who's Jenny? Who's Esther? Who's Aaron? Who's Jamie? I don't know any of these people. That's how big we want to be. Who's Joni? I don't know that girl. What? Kim? Never heard of her. That's how big we want to be. That everybody on this call, your downline has never heard of you. Not because you're not reaching down, but because you've gotten so big that it's statistically impossible for them to actually know who you are. That's where we want to be.
I have a shameless plug that I want to say.
Plug it.
Okay. I just want to say, and you totally said this about having a person, but it is super important to have a person. And it's sometimes better to not have it be a person that's on your downline or even your upline.
Yes.
And that's what's so awesome about these pages that everybody is on, that you can, what I like to call cross-pollinate. You see people post, everybody starts to recognize names, and you can tell where people are and what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's super important. And if someone does this to you, don't make them feel like a big weirdo. Like, it's important to like reach out and say, hey, hey Joni, like, I've seen you post, like, you seem like you're really working your business, and I was just curious if, maybe we could chat once a month and just like bounce ideas off each other, and maybe like you could hold me accountable. If I tell you that I'm going to get 400 PRV this month, like, I want you to send me a message on, the 15th of the month and say, hey, where's your 400 PRV? Are you doing it? What are you doing? Like, you need somebody who will call you out that's not on your downline, that's not on your upline, that really has no ties to really care why you're doing it or you're not doing it, other than you just have this bond and you're also probably doing it for them. But it makes a difference. And on the flip side of that, someone to say to you, where you been? what you doing? Why hadn't I heard from you? Because I certainly have that person, and it's important. You know, they usually say to me, okay, I'm going to give you about 3 days to keep acting like this, and then you're done with that. And it's important, and I totally respect that person, and that person has probably saved me from a 3-month ebb as opposed to a 1-week ebb. So I would encourage you, you know, all these people that we have that, you know, you guys see on the pages and stuff, reach out to them and form little bonds like that. Like, I know at least last year at one point we had toyed around with making groups with, you know, different teams where we would pull people from different teams and put you guys all in a group together and basically force you guys to get to know each other. And I still think that that's a fantastic idea, because I'm super happy that Monica made me do that a year ago. I remember coming off maternity leave and being like, why am I in this group with all these people that I don't even know and I don't even care? But those are some of my best friends now. And so it's just nice to have those people. So I would encourage you to try to make some lateral moves and reach out to some people that you know, maybe you're the same rank, or, you know, you seem to be similar to where you can kind of do some checks and balances with each other.
You can do that right in Millionaires, because there's all the different teams are right within that group. So find a buddy, make them your buddy, make a promise to contact them like every day or every 3 days, like Jill said. If I didn't talk to Monica or Kelly or Jill or Liz or Laura, if I didn't talk to them every day, I would completely lose it all, because it's a constant reminder, you know. And sometimes it's not even about Jamberry, but it's a Jamberry connection. So it's always there. It's always that underlying thing there that's pushing you.
Yeah, Millionaire Club still has not taken off in the way that I would like for it to, but those of you on here, you are rising stars. That's what you have in common. I mean, that's how I would identify you, is you are on the upswing of anything can happen with your business. Now, some people in the Rising Stars page just fall off completely, but I do think that is because we're not quite getting you the support that you need. But you need to lean on each other, and you need to grab somebody from your team, especially if your downline is in this page. If your downline is in this page, that means you have leads. Okay? Come on, people. You have leads. Like, that equals team manager. Need 5 of them. Lean on them. The other thing is, I'm not going to downplay the community team pages, but Millionaire is about developing your team to the next level. It is all about team. So if you say that you're a Jedi is, I'm guessing from the things I read, Jedi is all it is about being a consultant, mainly, and some stuff about your team. Whereas you should look at Millionaire, like, this is all about the same thing I would get from Jedi or Ninja or Artemis or Firestarters that I get about being a consultant. Everything I'm going to get about being a team leader and developing that team is going to come from Millionaire. So I understand that there's a lot of groups, and I'm also going to say this in the nicest way that I can. Who cares? Oh, I'm sorry that you went and had to check another page to get inspired, motivated, or more ideas. I mean, really, y'all, that's nothing that you need to be overwhelmed by. If you're overwhelmed, my guess is a lot of different stuff is showing up in your feed. So do what I did in the pages that are important. You put them in your favorites, and then just go in and check on them, because Ninja is going to give you, and this is just case in point, Ninja is going to give you a wealth of information, and then you might want to come and check the Millionaire Club to see what there is to know about building your team, becoming a better leader, having stability, and moving up to that next rank. Okay? I know that the team pages can get overwhelming. I probably have a record for the most Jamberry pages that I admin, but I don't feel overwhelmed by it, because I just categorize it and I take all notifications off of every page and just check them. So if this existed outside of Facebook, that's what you would do. You'd be logging into different groups to see what was going on. So that's how I think that you should treat Millionaire Club. I would love to see a lot more participation, posting. Please, please, please post in here, ask questions. Obviously, don't say things like, my downline did this and I'm annoyed. Obviously not that kind of question. But say, I'm struggling, this or that is happening. I need help here. What would you do for this? I'm really excited about this. Share just like we do in all of our community pages. And this is supposed to be a community page for leaders, okay? And then eventually once you hit team manager, then you get to go onto our elite page. And then that is a whole special breed of awesomeness that's been happening. And I am amazed. I just last month got to pretty much meet all of the team managers. We had been all discombobulated, and I am surrounded by a lot of amazing women. So I can't wait to see more and more of you become part of that. And it starts here. Like, it starts here. This is a tiny little cosmos that you can make anything you want out of it. And none of you are going to ask to talk to each other because you're not talking in here. Okay? So talk in here so that you can see who you like. Now, the person that I go to help build me up is not on this team at all. We're not in the same downline, sideline, nothing. And I found her. I met her in person briefly, and we connected. But I met her on the leader page that Jamberry has. And she made some snarky comments, and she made some good, well thought out comments too. And I just reached out to her because I felt like she would be a good person for me to connect with and grow my business. And she became my mentor. And I just, I wouldn't be here. She's the other person who I wouldn't be here without, because she is my Marc Jacobs person. She is who I go to. And you might be able to find that, because sometimes your upline isn't going to be that person, like Jill said. It's going to be someone not even related. So let's start that conversation here if we can. And please post on this page, even if you want to start out by just posting inspirational stuff, or maybe an article that you read and what you thought about it. And does anybody else have any thoughts? I don't need to be the only one posting in here. I would have to imagine that a lot of you get tired of seeing me post stuff. So feel free to post, please. But I guess I just brought you all on tonight to tell you really the secrets are this. You got to want it. You got to be willing. You got to suck it up when it sucks. You got to allow yourself to admit when it sucks. Don't live in that, though. Grab a friend. Grab 2 friends if you can. I'm putting friend in quotes. And have them, get with them, and that's what's going to take you to the next level. So wanting is...
Go to conference. How many of you are going to conference? It's important. You guys are going to be leaders. You are leaders. It's important for you to be there. You will walk away a completely different person. And so will your business. You have to go. Like, period. And on top of that, it's going to be, not that last year wasn't amazing, because it totally was.
Yeah.
But it's going to be amazing this year because we are going to have so many fire starters there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is going to be like so much fun, and you guys are going to get to meet so many different like people that are like sideline people, your sister, like your cousins, or however y'all want to like call them, which is going to be super, super fun to meet some people that like you've seen their names and you've interacted with them online. Y'all been dating. Everyone's been dating for a while now. It's time for everyone to meet. Like, it's going to be super, super fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is, and we get to like walk around like the queens of conference because we are awesome.
Kristen.
Let's be real.
Kristen does that. No one else does that.
Kristen wears a crown.
I'm sorry. We are the queens of conference. We are.
It was pretty
like
fun.
Everybody wants to be us. They do. They want to be us.
That is true.
I mean, hello. Our table won for the rowdiest and most happening table out of everyone on awards night.
Y'all,
Don't tell
seriously,
me.
you're part of a really
We
awesome
did.
team.
We got $100 to go buy drinks with.
Yeah,
Or
we
do
bought
whatever we
coffee
wanted.
the next morning.
We got coffee.
We did buy coffee.
We bought coffee. But, and I would like to clarify, for me, it is a fun experience. And you want to know why it's fun? Because I will never get my husband to sit around and talk about Jamboree with me for 72 straight hours. However,
It is true. That is true.
I can talk about Jamboree for 72 hours and nobody tells me to shut up. That's not entirely true. I'm pretty sure that after conference was over, everyone told me I needed to shut up for a couple hours. But for the most
No, but I will say this, like, honestly, you guys, like, imagine going to school for 8 hours and it being so awesome that when you leave, all you want to do is go to a place and get with all your friends and talk about what you just learned. That's what conference is. And that's totally what we did. Like, we would literally go sit in school all day and hear all this amazing, great stuff with all these resources and all these things that pump you up and get you ready to roll. And then we would be so pumped about it that we would literally sit around for 4 hours at night and talk about all the stuff that we had just learned.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's fun about it.
Somebody always hears something that you don't hear. And you're like, what?
Come next to the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Like somebody hears something you don't hear, or there's more than one training, and you can't do all the trainings. So everybody splits up, and you go to one, and they go to one, and then everybody comes back, and then at night when you should be sleeping,
Oh my God.
you're talking about all the things you learned, and you're so excited you can't wait to share, and I can't wait to hear. You know, and then I kind of get jealous that I didn't go to the one that they went to, and then they're feeling the same way that I felt.
Yeah, and I feel like this conference will be better because Jamboree's grown, so I know that the value of information will have grown.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I want to say one other thing, too, and then I know everybody has to go.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in, and I think that you guys had, I don't know if you had the same person when you were in the executive conference in Salt Lake City, but when I went to Florida for the executive conference, they had, I just want to, they do give you tons of information on how to do your business and all that kind of stuff and how to make it better and the resources and all that kind of stuff. But we also had a lady that came and talked to us about just how to be a woman and how to be awesome and how to be confident and how to be, you know,
Your hotness.
great. Yes. How to just feel good in your own skin. And I don't know everyone's story that's on this call, but like, you know, I'm a mama of 3 kids and, you know, there are plenty of days where I do not feel awesome and great and hot. And, you know, that carries over into a lot of things. And just to learn how to be confident, you know, that, yes, it transferred into my Jamboree business, but it also transferred into me walking into the door to see my husband after 4 days. And he was like, what are you doing? You're looking all crazy. Like, you know, have this air about you that's different.
Mm-hmm.
My kids can see it. My friends can see it. So, like, it's not just I'm going to go here and try to learn some stuff about Jamboree. It is like a kind of a full circle kind of thing that I think every woman every once in a while needs to get away and reset yourself. And that's totally how I look at it. And granted, it is a bonus because it also resets my business. So,
Yeah.
yay on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no poopy talk.
Yeah. No one talks about poop. I agree. I fundamentally changed as a person after conference number 1. And that was because I had to drive to the airport all by myself. That was scary. I had to get on that plane and fly by myself, and it was very scary. And then I had to get off the plane and meet women with nobody cared if I was coming or not. I had nobody greeting me. Nobody cared, you know, having to go introduce myself to woman after woman after woman. And I met Erin Carey, was the very first person I met. So anybody who knows her can also know how wonderful that was. And it changed me because by the end, I had shared so much with everybody that somebody said to me, "Oh, you're Monica Miller." And that's back when I was winning the race to the first one to get the what's that thing called? Cruise. Sorry. Good Lord. So anyway, and they're like, "You're Monica Miller," because I didn't know people knew me, but they did. And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Wow, you've shared so much. I wouldn't think somebody in first place would ever share that much." And I was like, "Why wouldn't I? I'm here to learn. I share from you. I share, you share." It's like, why wouldn't we all be sharing and getting to know as much as you could? And I guess that little experience alone changed me, because I realized that sharing with others, whether you are getting paid from them or not, is one of the biggest things that I could have been doing. And I learned so much from that, and I overcame so many fears. And I know some of you, your holdback is fear, and guilt. Can I leave my kids? And am I a bad mom? No, you're not a bad mom. If anybody is worried about that, you're not a bad mom if you leave your kids. You're scared to get on a plane. You're scared to be away from your kids. You're scared to be away from your husband. You're scared to be around all of us because we're kind of nuts. I get it. You're scared to be around of us because what if we don't like you? We will. Don't worry about it. And if we don't like you, you won't know it. So how about that?
I just won't hug you if I don't like you.
Yeah. So just, if it is things like fear that is holding you back, go for it. If it's going to break your budget, I mean, people have broken their budget to sign on. I feel like it's the same type of thing, but I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I am going to tell you, you should always look at conference like it's an investment, just like I tell everybody about signing on. It is an investment. It's not a handbag purchase. Okay. I would go to conference at Salt Lake City in that boring old stupid hotel a million times over, because what I got from it just changed me and my business. So yeah, we're going to have fun, but that's because we're all freaks about Jamboree and we get to talk about it all day.
Can I just touch on something real quick that I don't know that everybody's aware of, that I think that they need to know?
Yeah.
Is that everything that Monica does for us, and that trickles down all the way down to our downlines and your teams, is that is not something she ever had in her sponsor or upline, ever. She never had the support. She never had any training. She never had anybody come to her and hold her hand and offer to truly be a sponsor to her. And so I really think that we have such a gift in having her as a leader and as a friend, and that if we continue to pay it forward the way that she has for us, that only good things can come of it, because she could have been a failure, but she didn't let somebody else's horrible, just I can't even say the words, y'all. Okay,
No, say the words, because I'm over it.
Okay, seriously, her sponsor and our upline is just hateful and evil. And when Monica went to conference all by herself,
Don't.
All by herself. No, I'm just going to say this. She was not welcomed by her own upline.
Yeah.
And that will never happen on this team.
Yeah, that will never happen. We will all love you, so don't worry about coming. You're loved.
She still loves us and still does for us. She does. This is what happens within this Firestarters team is not the norm within other teams outside of us. I mean, they don't have the gifts that we have with these trainings and these connections, and I just want everybody to know that it's a true gift. That's all.
Well, everybody here's worth it. So thank you for coming tonight, and we're a little over an hour, so I'll let you go. I hope that everybody got something from tonight, because honestly, I think the things that we talked about tonight go a lot further than a booking blitz. And okay, but y'all should do a booking blitz, by the way. But they go a lot further because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're doing a booking blitz. If you don't want this, you're not willing, and you don't have somebody who also wants it and is willing, you'll never get anywhere. So work on that. That's what you're going to work on. And next week, I'm going to have a lot of fun announcements for incentives. We're going to have booking blitzes and a lot of great stuff. So get your team prepared to have the best May ever, the best month you've ever had. And it starts with your attitude today. And if you're in one of those ebbs like Jill was in, get your butt out of it. It's over come May. All right. So, and go Joni.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Joni just posted that she is $5 away from making team manager.
What?
Oh my gosh. Freak.
Girlfriend,
What?
I mean, I feel like I'm going to go buy a wrap from you right now.
Yeah.
Way to go.
You were that. Wow. And this is happening early in the month. Awesome. Oh,
Get it. That is amazing.
Way to go.
Congrats. That's good stuff.
oh my gosh. Thank you for
So
sharing.
exciting. Get your Fanny and Elite.
Yeah. You're $5 away from Elite. Sweet. All right.
Sweet.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. This is recorded. I don't know if anybody will want to listen to it, but if they do, it'll be up there in the morning. Anyway, everyone, have a good weekend. I will be in Knoxville meeting with some of y'all who are on tonight, hopefully. So I don't know if any of them are on. All right. Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Or not. And